Hello,
Hey,
Eric.
how are you, man?
All right, how are you?
I'm excellent, man. Great to
Great.
see you.
Great to see you. Awesome. Yeah, this is fantastic. Where are you? You're in LA?
I am in Los Angeles. Yeah, I'm in my office in Los Angeles.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm just outside of Chicago and I'm just so excited. I think we're over 50 degrees today. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. It doesn't happen too much in December around here, that's for sure.
Oh, man. Well, I'm sorry it's so cold there. Jeez, that's crazy.
Well, you're originally from Maine, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know about that. That's for sure.
I remember a lot of cold mornings.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, let me introduce you. I'm here with celebrity fitness expert Eric the trainer. And I'm gonna miss an accolade here because you have so many of them. You've worked with celebrities, SWAT teams, LAPD, UFC fighters, rock stars, everybody. Uh, it's you've got the now you're a musician as well. You've got Main Monster, which you have two singles, I'm Yours and Girl Like You, with stars like Arnel Pineda and Mike Kruger from Nickelback, with 100% of proceeds going to Feeding America. 100%, folks. And welcome, Eric. Eric the trainer. Fantastic to have you here.
Hey, man, it's great to be here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We had a lot of fun making the music, and the fact that it's going to benefit people, it makes it that much better.
Yeah, and you do so much charitable work, and we appreciate you for sure. Uh, I have to ask you, what inspired you to do music at this point? You have such a successful career, and I knew I'd miss an accolade. You had Celebrity Sweat, your own TV show as well. Just so successful with training, and now you're moving into music as well. What inspired that move?
Music has always been a creative outlet for me. At the end of a long day working at the gym with clients, helping them look and feel their best, I go home, I take a shower, and I just play the acoustic guitar and sort of allow my mind to go away from the world of fitness. And it just keeps me fresh for the next day. It's a totally different way to use creativity. And so when lockdown started, I found myself, instead of at the gym where I usually am, I found myself suddenly at home for a much longer period of time. And while I was at home, I wrote a whole new batch of songs inspired by my beautiful new wife, Alicia. We recently got married. And so the
Congratulations.
first single, I'm Yours, is kind of an ironic song because, Alicia as a person is so incredible. She doesn't care about monetary success or material success. She loves me for who I am. And so it's kind of an ironic song. It's a song about an unimpressed girlfriend where no matter what you do, whether you're on the cover of a magazine or you're on TV, if you make $1 million, none of that matters because she loves you for who you are. And so I wanted to celebrate that in song.
And you did, and it's so, I mean, it's so successfully does that. And I hear it, and especially today for me, I want to get in the car and I want to put the top down and I just want to cruise to that. It's so nice. It's so positive in that way. That loving feeling really shines through on that song.
Well, I'll tell you, man, she's an incredible girl, and I'm the luckiest guy in the world to get a chance to spend the rest of my life with her. And I love playing music. I mean, playing music is it's so fun, and there's no pressure for me to perform. I mean, so many musicians now, especially these days, feel the financial pressure of performing and needing to hit certain earmarks. And I don't feel that at all. I'm a personal trainer that plays music for fun, and so I just had a great time.
See, and that's great. I wish more musicians would approach it that way, and just have fun with it. Just go with it.
Oh yeah, yeah. So your listeners can go to Spotify or Apple Music or any of those major streaming services, and they can check out I'm Yours, and they can check out Girl Like You. Now with Girl Like You, I got a chance to get to know Arnel when I was on tour with Def Leppard and Journey, and he and I became great friends. And so when it came time to do a little collaboration, he was in. And so we sent him the track over in the Philippines, and he sang his part and he sent it back. And what a big chorus,
Yeah,
So good.
it is. And he's such a great singer. And yeah, it adds so much to what you're doing, which is great already. To put that on there was it's just it's dynamite. It's really great. Now you said you were working, you worked on a batch of songs. Can we expect more music on the way?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm always writing new
Nice.
songs, and I love collaborating. And so I expect in the next couple months to be recording more songs and slowly releasing them. Where eventually there will be a main monster album that will be a collection of all the different songs. I'm really proud of them. I take my time. I try to sort of think out what the most catchy way to present subject material is, and it's a lot of fun, man. I'm
Yeah.
living my dream. I grew up on a farm in Maine, in the middle of nowhere. You know how cold it is in Maine. And so
Yeah.
the fact I can live in California and be married to a beautiful girl, see palm trees every day, and collaborate with some of my favorite musicians of all time, I'm one lucky guy.
Isn't that cool? That's great. Now you grew up in Maine. What got you on the bus to LA? You know, how did that come about?
I grew up in Maine, but I really wanted to live someplace that was more filled with culture and art and music and dance and film. And so I went to New York City initially, and I was a personal trainer in New York. Had a great time living in Manhattan. And then I eventually moved from Manhattan out to Los Angeles, started training actors and musicians out here. And I'm a lucky guy because I go to work every day and I get to surround myself with artists, and it's a very special energy that artists have. It's a creative energy. It's a live energy, and I just love it. I'm a very lucky guy.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. Did you have a lot of music in the house growing up? Mom and dad or brothers, sisters?
I did. My parents were really into music, and so I mean, they constantly had everything from Godspell to Barbara Streisand. I mean, their musical tastes were all over the place. They loved Neil Diamond. I even listened to some opera growing up with
Uh,
them. And I played in the marching band, and I always had a little bit of a musical background. But I learned how to play guitar in New York City. I met a guy at the gym when I was working as a trainer who just coincidentally happened to be the editor-in-chief of Guitar World magazine, a guy named Brad Talinsky. And Brad and I became friends. He taught me how to play guitar. I got him in great shape. We had a great bartering system. It was like we were back on the farm in Maine. It was awesome. And
that's cool.
so yeah, I credit Brad Talinsky for my guitar playing. And I'm not a great guitar player, but I'm good enough where I can play a chord enough to sing a song, have something catchy, and then have it filled out by experts.
Yeah, yeah, and that's really great. Now you wrote these things on your own. You wrote the music. You write music. Um,
I do.
yeah. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. So the writing process was all you, and you brought in your friends to fill this out.
That's exactly what happened. I wrote the songs, and then I called some of my friends who are unbelievable musicians and asked them if they would play with me, and they said yes. And so we all sort of collaborated, and the next thing you know, we had these objects of beauty. And but just realize, as a trainer that plays music, getting a chance to play with some of the greatest musicians on the planet, it's kind of like having an interest in basketball and surrounding yourself with NBA superstars. I mean, they make you look good.
Yeah, yeah, and I know you're feeling. You're doing what I do. I'm a journalist and a photographer. A concert photographer, but I'm not a musician. And these guys are my heroes. So getting a chance to speak with them and meet them, and actually get to be friends with many of them is it is a thrill, and they do so much for me in my life. So and that's like you say, artists have a special aura about them, when you're surrounded by them. It's got to be incredible.
They do. They have a great creative energy. And in times like this, Scott, when things have been kind of dark and not pleasant for the world, with the political climate and COVID and the wildfires, there's something really special about turning to art, turning to music, turning to film that sort of motivates and inspires you to go on another day, and it helps you escape from the normal doldrums of your life and the stresses that you have. And so, through these songs that we did together, that we recorded for a good cause, if I can put a smile on someone's face, if I can help someone feel better, or get a catchy song in their head, it's all worth it.
Yeah, and 100% proceeds going to Feeding America is just incredible. It's doing so much good, and we, like I say, we thank you as a society for doing things like that. Making the world a better place is always a positive, wonderful thing. Um, have you ever recorded songs before this? Had you ever been in a studio?
Yeah, I've been in the studio and recorded demos in the past over the years of songs that I sort of made up in my head, and I even put together a little band a couple years ago called 98 Pound Weakling, which you which you can actually find on iTunes, of some catchy songs that I wrote, afternoons after being at the gym and stuff. But I've never had the opportunity to collaborate with professional musicians on this level, or work with producers that are so fantastic, like I did at this level. And so this was a huge step forward for me. I mean, there's a big difference between recording a couple of demo songs with your friends and getting a chance to play with the guys from Nickelback and Air Supply and Lifehouse and Journey. I mean, it's eons away. So it was a really great experience.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Did you discover something about yourself by doing this? Is there
Uh,
something in your inner being that you discovered?
Well, I actually came to realize how lucky I was, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And as a personal trainer that deals with celebrities on a regular basis, I kind of get used to being around people that happen to be famous, and whether they're movie actors or television actors or musicians. But to actually collaborate with these artists on their terms, instead of them meeting me in the gym and me making their biceps look better or their shoulders look commanding on stage, to go over to their side and to collaborate with them sort of on their terms, it was just an absolute joy. And so I feel super, super lucky, super blessed. And I'm very proud of the work that we did. And I hope your listeners go and check out the music, because Maine Monster is known for one thing, and that is catchy songs.
Yeah, and it really is. It's so fun to listen to. And like I say, I want to get in the car and take a ride with the stuff, to hear there's more coming is really exciting. It's very cool. Very cool.
Thanks, man.
Now I know you had Celebrity Sweat, and you've got Morning Glory Live, your online exercise program. I don't see anything in way of books. Have you ever written a book? Have you ever thought about like a self-help book, a fitness book, or I know you work with Muscle and Fitness magazine, so maybe even a cookbook. Ever think about that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely want to put together a book that sort of details what it was like to go from a farm in Maine to working with some of the top business titans in Manhattan to working with some of the biggest celebrities in Hollywood. That journey from rural living all the way to Tinseltown, I think it would make a really interesting book. I've had a very, very interesting life, and so I'm putting together something. I want to tell my story and share with people the experiences I've had. I feel very, very fortunate.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all. I thought about that, and I looked and I said, he's got to have a book, right? It's just a great story, that 98-pound weakling from Maine, turns into, your incredible physique now, and, just your incredible career. It's really exciting to watch you and go through this, and and your giving spirit is something that really tops it all off. It's just wonderful.
Well, thank you so much, man. There aren't a lot of guys out here in Hollywood that are from Maine. I'm out here, Anna Kendrick's out here. Stephen King, of course, is from Maine.
Yeah.
Patrick Dempsey's from Maine, but Judd Nelson is from Maine. But there aren't a lot of us out here from Maine, so it's kind of like being a unicorn. It's we're few and far between. We're pretty far away.
Now I can't help but I'm looking at you and I'm thinking about the Jimmy Fallon clip, and you had to get a kick out of that, and there is that likeness. And then I think it was on Seth Meyers where they compared you to the He-Man character, and
yes,
and I saw that. I see that too, of course. But then I got to thinking, I said, A equals C, B equals C. Does A and B, does Jimmy Fallon look like He-Man? I don't know.
I don't know, man. I mean, they say that when you find yourself, in pop culture in that way, that's a good sign. That means your career kind of broke through. And I still remember the day that I was at home, and suddenly my phone literally exploded with calls and messages from people on the East Coast telling me that I was on the Tonight Show. And I corrected them by saying, no, actually, I haven't taped the Tonight Show, so I'm not. And they were like, yes, you are. And Jimmy Fallon dressed up as me and pretended to be me on his show. I was so honored. That guy's hilarious. He's such a funny, nice guy. And I was thrilled to be made fun of. It was cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. I saw that and I really loved it. It was very cool. Now we're going through a hard time with COVID. Has that been a problem? I mean, you're a personal trainer, you've got hands-on, you're working close with clients. How has that affected you and the work with your regulars? I would imagine you have regular clients that see you all the time.
Right. No, it's really affected us in a big way, and it's been really hard. But even harder for me it's just missing the personal contact that I have with these people, because as a trainer, you get to know someone really well and you take great pride in your work and you can see their bodies go through transformations. But in the process, you get to know them very well as a person. Mm-hmm. And you have a nice connection with them. And unfortunately, when COVID hit, let me just take a sip. When COVID hit and the gyms were shut down, you lose that personal connection with them. And so it's kind of like not seeing your great friends for a while. I really look forward to having the vaccine distributed throughout the country and once again having the personal aspect of personal trainer be injected into my business.
Yeah, I can imagine, because I mean, I'm meeting new people sometimes now, and I'm a huggy guy. I like to hug people or shake their hand, and just a wave and a masked smile just seems so not it's a little bit cold, so
right.
I'm looking forward to getting back to that state of the world for sure.
Me too, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're, like I say, you've got such a giving spirit, and you've done so much for charity and so much for the world with your celebrity status and the things that you do. What can a regular guy like me and the people around me, it's a hard time for a lot of people. We don't have a lot to give monetarily. What can we do to make the world a better place?
Well, I think at times like this, at times of crisis, we have to really examine what the science of change is, because many people find themselves feeling bad emotionally, feeling bad physically. It's kind of a downward spiral. So the very science of change is really three things. It's exercise, it's diet, and it's sleep. So to answer your question, I would have your listeners do three things. Number one, try to do something physical every day. You don't have to run a marathon, but go for a nice walk before breakfast, or do some push-ups, or do some stretching and exercise. If you move your body, you'll feel good, and the natural endorphins are released. They're a very powerful antidepressant. I say let's try to break a sweat every day. That's number one. Number two, diet-wise, I think for you to have a diet where you're eating animal-based proteins that are lean, chicken breast, turkey breast, egg whites, fish, along with fresh fruits and vegetables, drinking lots of water, and even healthy fats, avocado, raw almonds, olive oil, those are all terrific healthy fats. Taking care of your diet and taking care of your body, that's the first step in you feeling well enough that you can actually help people in the world. And lastly, sleep. Many people don't realize that sleep is the only time that the body can change. All physical transformation occurs exclusively during slumber. So just because we're in a pandemic and you have Netflix, there's no rule that says you have to stay up super late every night. Try to go to bed on the early side, because in fact, the hours that you're asleep before midnight, those hours before midnight are worth almost twice as much as the hours after midnight when it comes to transformation. So if you went to bed at 10 o'clock at night and you were in bed asleep and you woke up at 6 or 7, you would feel and look much better than if you went to bed at midnight and woke up at 8. That's
Wow.
a big deal.
That is, it is. And, you know, I have to ask you, you have so much knowledge. Obviously, this is what you do. You're probably the greatest trainer in the world. You know, and where did you learn your craft? Is it a school that you go to be Eric the trainer, or is it talking to people? How did you obtain all this knowledge and become who you are?
My educational background actually started when I got certified as a trainer in New York City originally. But then, you know, the years that you work at a job, there's a certain amount of wisdom and knowledge that builds up. I've been a trainer for almost 30 years. So if you take 30 years of wisdom, plus all of the certifications I've had, plus the mentorship that I had with Jack LaLanne, who was arguably the greatest fitness practitioner of all time. I was his last apprentice before he passed away. I spent a lot of time with him. He was a huge influence on me. And so between all those different things, I have a knowledge base that I'm ready to share with others to help them look and feel their very best. And I feel like the best place for me to do it is right here in Hollywood, California.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You know, and you're helping people with their physical being and mental being, and then you're writing these songs that are just you know, really powerful, positive songs, and people, you know, really react mentally to music. So you know, it's amazing what you're doing. It's amazing what you're doing. I'm not going to take up your whole day. I want to ask you one more thing though. With all of this that you've done in your life and so much success and helping people the way you do, is there any one thing that you really have left that you really want to do in life?
You know, because of the recent things that have happened in the news and in the world, there's more division in the world than ever before, especially in this country, in America.
Yeah.
And so when I think about my career in the future, I would love to use my position, my platform of health and fitness to create a new level of unity and friendship with people. Because I think that's the number one thing that plagues us the most right now, is this unbelievable divide of right and left and yes and no and black and white and all of these different divisions. I want to find a way to unify people again and have us as that beautiful melting pot of community. So anything that I can do from a fitness standpoint and from a health standpoint, from a lifestyle standpoint, to start to unify and heal those wounds, that's my next big thing.
And God bless you for it. And I lied. I'm going to ask you one more thing. I know you've worked with Mike Kruger, and I know he had a medical a surgery recently. Have you talked to him? Do you know how he's doing?
I do. I talked to him the other day. He's doing fantastic. I mean, his
Of course.
recovery has been unbelievable, and he's feeling great. He's exercising again. He's very, very feeling very positive, and it was a complete success. And as soon as they're allowed to tour again, I think you're going to see Nickelback back on the road.
Man, that's great news as well, for sure. Well, Eric, it's been a fantastic time. Thank you so much. Where can everybody, you know, I know there's Spotify and Apple Music for the songs. Where can we reach you online and some of the other things that you're doing?
You know, the best way to track me is on social media, which is at Eric the Trainer, as one word, at Eric the Trainer on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or they can go to my website, ericthetrainer.com, and see all the things that we're up to. But thanks again. I had a great time, Scott. Thanks again for having me on your show.
Awesome. Hey, thank you. And, you know, we'll talk soon.
All right. Sounds good, man. Take care.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.